Welcome, welcome. I am so excited about our talk, about who's joining me. And before we do anything else, I simply want to acknowledge you because of our connection, and that I know you are busy working in your business, serving your clients, doing all the things, remain operational, and that you took time away from that to join us, working on your business, gaining insights, being able to walk away with one actionable item that you can immediately implement to start to raise the bar as far as who you serve and being squarely on the path to your dream firm. Today's topic is attract quality clients to your firm, grow your dreams firm without spending tons of money. Okay, pain to potential. I'm not talking about your pain to potential. I'm talking about your clients. What you really want to know is your clients so well that you're going to know the whole gamut of what keeps them up at night and the things that make them smile, give them joy. You really want to tap into all those things. And the more that you know the things that are really their frustrations, that's on their mind, that are feeling like they're stuck and they can't move forward, they've been tolerating for much too long, to the other side of this spectrum, where if they achieve this result, this would be a milestone. It would be meaningful for them. It would allow them to do something that they wouldn't have been able to do up until then. You want to know the whole range. And the more that you can really gain awareness of those things, it is going to start to really have you understand what you need to focus on to attract those quality clients to you. If you feel that you're blending in with everybody else who does something similar to what you're doing, and as a result of that, potential clients can't differentiate why they ought to engage your services instead of going in some other direction, it keeps you price competitive. If any of those things are happening to you, or just the fact that the word marketing just feels like it is an unpleasant thing to do, painful, and you need to be doing it because you have fear that if you don't, you'll be missing out, then you are in the right place. Steve, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Well, Lauren, I'd love to, and thank you for everybody that showed up for us today. So I'm Steve Fogelman. As you can see, their last names are similar. Lauren and I have been married for quite a number of years and working together probably at the same time. I am a therapist turned business coach. I'm going to be your co-host, and I'll be working the chat. So if you have any questions for Lauren, please go ahead and put them into the chat when we do the polls, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later. Anyway, Lauren, it's back to you.
Great, great. And Steve, your microphone's breaking up a little bit. I'm not sure why, but wanted to let you know that.
Okay, thank you.
A little bit about me. So some of you have heard this before, and just bear with me because some of you are here for the first time. But basically, I am a sports psychologist turned business coach. And what I have found is that going through school, my education gave me all the tools that I needed to do what I do really, really well, but it also prepared me to be an employee working for someone else instead of a business owner or an employer. And because of that, I found there were 3 gaps that I needed to figure out. The very first one is how to communicate value, whether it is marketing online or marketing in person, going to network meetings and someone asking me what I do and how do I describe myself? How do I grab attention instead of blending in? So that was the first thing, is communicating value. And then the second thing is how to be able to price my services when I don't want to charge for my time. I wanted to separate my fees from how much time it took me to do things. And then the third thing is the sales part. They do not teach sales, even in business schools, even though so many people end up doing some type of sales when they get out into their career. They're not teaching it in school. It is a disservice. Apparently, this is one of my rants for today. So how to be able to enroll clients when I don't want to be salesy, pushy, and being able to figure out that way of navigating people into the next step of working more closely together. Anyway, those were the 3 things that I found accounting professionals could benefit from. Also is communicating value, how to price your services when you didn't want to connect your fees at time, and how to be able to enroll clients when you might not like the sales part. As you can see, I've been listed as one of the top 22 business coaches by HubSpot from 2018 to 2022. And that is my Amazon #1 bestseller, The Success Solution. Okay, blending in versus standing out. Now, if your website looks like everybody else's and it has the popular green and white colors on it even, or if you are talking about all the things that you're doing for your clients, then it might be hard for those clients to understand why they ought to go with you as a solution for their financials as opposed to some other option. So you blend in. They can't differentiate why you ought to be the person. We want to focus on standing out. That is like driving in the country on a beautiful Sunday afternoon, and you're passing some of these farms and you're seeing lots of brown cows, you're seeing lots of black cows, and then all of a sudden you see this purple cow, a purple cow, never before. So you immediately pull over, you get out of the car, making sure that you grab your phone, you take a selfie with yourself and this purple cow, you post on social media, it goes viral because a purple cow stands out. Well, what we're going to focus on today and really start to dive into is how to stand out and be that purple cow that grabs attention. It gets noticed as opposed to being a brown cow or a black cow and blending in. What we're going to cover today is fix your message, grabbing attention will be #2, and then we're going to wrap up with attracting quality clients. I will absolutely give you as much as I possibly can in this short period of time together. If you're interested in knowing more, I will show you how to follow up with that, the opportunities as we wrap up today.
Well, Lauren, what are the steps to increase income without working additional hours?
Well, basically, this is the 5 steps of the Raise Your Rates formula. And part of it is we're going to be taking a deep dive today into communicating your value. But if you really want to understand how to do that and attract more of those quality clients to your firm, I'm actually hosting a virtual retreat on May 25th and 26th. I'll give you more details as we wrap up. If this is something you've been really realizing that you need more of and you're tired of trying to figure it out on your own, you're not getting results. Instead, you're getting crickets. So let me just quickly go through the 5 steps of the Raise Your Rates formula. The very first thing is high value clients. I want you to attract more of those premium clients because those clients are a joy to work with. They are listening to what you recommend. They are implementing, as opposed to the other end of the spectrum, which is the price-sensitive, low-value clients who really don't show up on time. They don't respond on time. And as soon as you get a communication from them, you get a headache. It throws off the whole flow of your day. So we want to be very strategic in how to attract more of those high-value clients to your services and your firm. And then we go right into step #2, which is communicating your value. So once we understand who those high-value clients are, then we can start to understand the words that attracts them to your firm. Because what's going to appeal to a price-sensitive client or a headache client is going to be different than what grabs the attention of a quality client. And we want to be very strategic in how we are positioning ourselves to be able to stand out and get their attention and want to know more. That goes right into step #3, which is packaging your services. This is where you take that long laundry list of services that you have on your website, and we go ahead and create bundles or packages. By doing that, we're focusing on the results that you deliver instead of the activities that you are doing for them. This is where you're able to start separating your fees from time. And once we package your services, we go into step #4, which is value pricing. This is where you start to definitely separate your fees from time. Because when you do that, then you're able to earn 2 to 3 times more than what you're currently charging for an hourly rate. So that is something you want to think about, is how to become more profitable without having to feel like a slave to your firm. Because once you max out your time, you then max out your revenues. You're turning people away. So that goes into step #5, which is consultation mastery. If you're having initial consultations, you don't like the sales part, especially when it comes to the close, where you have to enroll them into working with you and you're discussing the money part, then consultation mastery is where you have more of what I call a value conversation. You're asking great questions. And at the end of that, they naturally are going to ask you, how does that work? And they're going to want to know more. So those are the 5 steps of the Raise Your Rates formula: is high value clients, communicating your value, packaging your services, value pricing, and consultation mastery.
Well, that's great, Lauren. So let's get started. I'm really anxious. The first thing that we're going to be doing is fixing your message. But before that, we have our first poll question. Do you have an ideal client? I work with everyone. I serve several industries. I have actually defined my niche. So once again, do you have an ideal client? I work with everyone. I serve several industries. I've defined my niche or my niche, either one. So please go ahead and answer those questions for us. And like I said, this is a great time if you do have a question to either put it in the chat or somehow get it over to me. And I will be sure to get those questions over to Lauren so that she can answer them while we're doing the seminar. So once again, do you have an ideal client? I work with everyone. I serve several industries. I've defined my niche or my niche. So yeah, Lauren, we don't have any questions right now, but I'm sure that as we go through and look at different polls, we'll probably have some questions coming in that I can pass over to you.
Yeah, absolutely. If you have questions, please let us know. We want to make sure that we're able to give you what you need so that you can walk away with, like I said, at least one actionable tip today. So we're going to go ahead and close the poll in 3, 2, 1.
Okay. Do you have an ideal client? I work with everyone is 13%. I serve several industries is 47%. I've defined my niche or my niche, whatever it is 40%. Great.
Perfect.
Well, Lauren, let's talk about the number one messaging mistake. The number one messaging mistake.
The messaging mistake I see is that I talk to accounting professionals all day long, and I hear about wanting more high value clients. But what I see is that the messaging is really attracting the lower value, the price sensitive clients, the people that are looking to get as much from you as possible, but they want to pay as low rates as possible. So that is something to think about is, well, who are you appealing to? Are your words attracting the clients of those low value clients and you don't really want to, but you're doing it anyway just because you're not aware of it? Or are you actually putting things out there that grab the attention of your high value clients? And if you find that those price sensitive clients are coming to you and you want to make that shift, there is ways to strategically start to put that in place.
Well, these are phases. Oops, sorry about that. I think this is you.
Yeah, it probably is me, Steve.
It is you.
I am so appreciative you're on my team. So, or that we're teamed up together. Let's put it that way. Anyway, I look at websites all the time for bookkeepers, tax preparers, CPAs, and what I see is a wide range of things that are out there that are some of those mistakes I just referenced. So these are things I took right off of websites. Is we provide affordable solutions. When I see that, that is like a green light for the price sensitive clients to say, reach out to me. I have low rates. I'm cheap. I might even negotiate your rates or give you a discount before you ask for one. So when you're doing that, it tells me that you have low rates and you're very price competitive. And then the second one is we help you run your books smarter. When you're having words like that, they sound savvy the way that they are worded, but also it's then positioning you as a technician, and it is actually undermining your expertise. So this is focusing on the function of what you do as opposed to the outcome of doing it correctly. And then the third thing is we give free year-round tax advice. Well, this particular firm doesn't realize that the highest value they're giving away for free. They are giving away tax
Mm.
advice, tax strategy, answering questions all day long. And they feel like it's being of service to their clients, but it's also something that clients highly value, will actually pay a premium fee for. So this particular firm is being competitive on the compliance side of what they do, not realizing that the highest value is their knowledge, what's in their head, their information, and that part they're giving away freely. The next one is we do AP, AR, HR, and payroll. Well, a lot of your clients probably need those things because it affects their cash flow, but they don't know what AP, AR, HR means. So they might be seeing that and just bouncing right off to somebody else that has actually taken the time to spell it out and explain what those things are and why those things matter. So you're offering the right things, but you're doing it in a way that is industry lingo, and your clients don't talk your language as much as you wish that they would. They don't do it, so they will actually bounce off, even though I know that they would benefit from all of those services. And then the fifth one is we work with small business, medium businesses, and not-for-profits. Well, that tells me that you want to work with everybody and that you want to be able to have that catch-all so that you're not missing out on anybody. But if I'm looking for someone to be able to help me with my financials, I want someone that understands my specific needs for my specific type of business. So I'm not looking for a generalist that knows a little bit about a lot of things. I want someone that has more focused knowledge on what my specific things mean and how that would apply to me. So those are some of the things to think about that might be on your particular website also. If they are, first of all, kudos to you for having a website. That is an advanced move because a lot of accounting professionals still don't. And the other part of it is that you now have insights and you could make some changes with the text that's on your website or your Pro Advisor profile if you feel that you want to.
Well, how does the golden rule actually apply to marketing and communicating your value?
Well, I feel that everybody here probably has a client-centered firm. You deeply care about your clients and how you make a difference for them. And that's why you're doing what you're doing. For so many accounting professionals, it is a calling in order to help others in a way that's meaningful for you and is going to make a difference for them. So that means that you do put your clients first so often. And because of that, the golden rule is of you before me, because you need clients in order to have a business and be able to continue doing your work. So some of the things to think about with the golden rule is benefits. You want to focus on them before you can focus on yourself. So it's about give before you can expect to get. Talk about how can you help them? What's top of mind for them? What's important to them? How can you maybe educate them a little bit before they're ready to take the next steps? So focus on the benefits that they would enjoy and that are important to them instead of focusing on you and what you do and why it matters. The second part then goes into solutions. Now, your clients are looking to engage your services, not because they're interested in the functions of what you do, but they're looking to engage you for your services because you know which functions to do and you know how to do them correctly in order to help them achieve a specific result. So some of the things that do matter to your clients is faster, better, and easier. If you can do this faster, then that is going to be a benefit and a plus to them. So then as a result of that, you don't want to connect your fees to time, because the faster you are, that means that you get punished for when you charge for time. So you want to be able to consider how to separate your fees and time so you're not getting punished for being speedy. The second thing is better. How can you actually help your clients achieve a better result because they engage your services than if they were to do it on their own and not work closely with you? So you want to give them insights as to how you can help them achieve actually a better solution than what they were aiming for. And that has to do with you having the expertise and the knowledge to be able to advise them on ways to move forward or to navigate around costly mistakes. And then easier, if they're able to hand their financials off to you or their taxes off to you, and you're able to do this for them, it makes it easier for them than if they had to figure out how to do it themselves and be able to learn some things, understand the tax codes or the changes in compliance that happened over the last couple of years, and make sure that they're being within compliance and not doing anything that might trigger an audit or be able to make some costly mistakes because they didn't understand the cash flow in their business. So those are some of the things that you want to talk about is solutions. And some solutions are about making things faster, better, and easier. And then future focus. This is really the sweet spot that makes a difference. They're not really hiring you because of something that's going on right now. That might be what caused them to finally make the move to reach out to you. But they really find that they really want you because of something that's future focused. They want you to help them achieve something that they can't achieve on their own or would take more time if they did it themselves, or possibly they want you to help them remove a problem so that if they were able to solve this problem and this challenge and it was taken care of and no longer an issue, they would feel unstuck and then able to move forward towards something that is important to them. So the more that you can connect your services to something that is aspirational to them or something, a milestone and a goal, that is where your highest value is. And that is where you're able to then start charging more because we're focusing on something down the road in the future instead of the immediate problem. So once again, the golden rule is focusing on the benefits, educating them about the solutions, and then the sweet spot is focusing on how you can help them achieve something that's down the road. And Bill is out there. He does a lot of networking in his community. He's very, very, very involved. And basically, when he was out there and he had the 30 seconds to talk about his business or someone asked him, what do you do? He focused on the functions of what he was doing in his business, the AR, the AP, the HR, the payroll parts of it. And what we did is we started to change his messaging so that he was talking about what was top of mind for his clients. He was educating them about how to be able to move forward. He was explaining why he was qualified to do that for them. And then he was also connecting the dots where he was talking about how they would be able to achieve a certain result because of the fact that he was helping them with their financials. So as a result of a slight tweak to his message, he was able to attract those quality clients, bring in an additional $10,000 in new business, and that happened in less than 30 days.
Wow. Moving forward, we're going to be looking at grabbing attention. But before we do that, we have our next poll question. Do you confidently communicate your value? It's something I struggle with. There's room for improvement. I've mastered my message. Once again, do you confidently communicate your value? It's something I struggle with. There's room for improvement, or I've mastered my message.
Yeah, and Dave put in the chat, I found that today's issues are usually yesterday's solutions. Instead, think about how to plan ahead. That is where the sweet spot is. So thank you for sharing that, Dave.
And Bridget had a question also. I only caught a little piece of it. So if you look in their chat, you might be able to pick that up.
You know what, Bridget? I don't see your question, but if you had one, you're welcome to unmute yourself and talk with me.
That was something about private contracting.
Oh, yes, I don't see the question, but like I said, if anybody had a question, you are welcome to unmute and ask your question. I would love to answer it for you, or put in the chat. I'm here to answer that for you that way as well.
And I do have a.
Go ahead, Bridget.
All right, good morning, and thank you for having this today. So my question, I had sent it just to Steve, but my question is, so for independent contractors that offer consulting services, what tips do you have for negotiating higher pay when you're working with a contracting organization and you realize that they have been underpaying you for your services that you're offering to their organization, and you're worth more than what they're paying you.
That's a big part of what I actually do with my clients, is help them to get their current client list up to their new rates, because you're leaving money on the table. So the first thing is you are aware of the fact that you have been undercharging this particular client. Is that correct, Bridget?
Yes.
And has the scope of work changed also since they first engaged your services?
Yes.
Okay, great. What you want to do is actually set up a conversation with them. And this is where the packages come in really nice. You want to be able to give them 3 different options where we're separating our fees from times. That's what I would suggest. And the conversation would be focusing on what it is that they're looking to achieve over the next 12 months, where things are now, and how you can help them with moving forward. And then coming up with 3 different package options that they can choose from, and how to be able to engage your services. But then that contains the scope, and it also allows you to raise your rates and start separating your fees from time when you offer the packages instead of charging an hourly rate. So it's actually a different topic for a different presentation, but I hope that they gave you a little bit of insights to think about with them.
Yeah, that does help, actually. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Bridget. So I'm going to go ahead and close down the poll, Steve.
Okay. So do you confidently communicate your value? It's something I struggle with, 53%. There's room for improvement is 47%. And I've mastered my message is 0%. Okay. Well, Lauren, tell me about this 90% statistic. 90% more dollars, 90% more what?
Well, this is actually research done by Microsoft, and they found that when someone is reaching out to you, they're looking to engage your services, 90% of those potential clients consider the relationship of what it's like to engage your firm's services and how you're going to work with them, as well as the service delivery regarding timeliness and what you're able to offer them. So realize that when you're able to really emphasize the client relationship, people are willing to pay more than when you're focusing on the functions and the workflow of what you do. So when you invest in the client relationship, then people tend to be less price sensitive.
Well, emotions are very important, but how does this really apply to accounting services? It seems to me like it's not there. I don't know. Tell me about it.
Well, let's just face it. When we're talking about accounting, whether it's bookkeeping, taxes, or other accounting functions, then you are the one that is having a conversation about something that might be very, very vulnerable for the other person. So many people, even though they're business owners, they have financial shame because they're not financially savvy. They don't really understand how the numbers work in their business. Or maybe they want to look good on the outside, but they are scrambling to make payroll every single payroll cycle, and it is keeping them up at night. As a result of that, talking about money has a lot of emotions around it. And sometimes you feel like you're a financial therapist instead of a financial consultant in some way. As a result of that, you do want to tap into the emotions of what's going on with these potential clients, as well as your current clients. When you're looking to talk about your fees and the value that you bring to your table, you want to understand what are those frustrations. As I kicked off this training today, by understanding what's keeping them up at night, what's top of mind, what have they been tolerating because they don't know how to move forward or get unstuck on their own, or it's wasting too much time. So you definitely want to be able to tap into the frustrations of what's going on because of the fact that their financials might not be up to date, they haven't been compliant with their taxes, and all these things are creating headaches for them. And part of the reason why you want to tap into the emotions are because by doing that, it actually creates rapport and deepens the connection between you and that particular person that you're meeting with. But the other part of why you want to do that is because even though what you do is very, very logical, the way that people make decisions is not as logical as we would like to think it is. What happens is that when people are making decisions to be able to move forward with your firm or move on to another decision, is they are first doing it on emotion, and then they're justifying with logic. So people need to feel a connection to you. They need to feel that they're being heard and understood, and that develops rapport. And then they're going to make that decision based on an emotional response, and then they will justify it with logic later on. So that is why you want to make sure that you tap into the emotional part of what's going on with them, because it just develops that relationship very, very quickly, and it lets them feel that they're being seen and heard, which is something that people crave to have happen.
So tapping into their emotions actually develops and earns their trust too, which is a whole other thing. So let's talk about the 5 ways to communicate your value.
So some of the ways to start communicating value is the service part, that you're going to be able to, they have the tools and the resources to be able to follow through and deliver on why they're hiring you to do it in the time that you agree to do it for them. And then the response part is about communication. What is it like to work with you when they reach out to you, when they have a question, when they need to be able to get a resource to you? So what is the communication part in your firm? Is it client-centered, or is it more where you don't want to be bothered by your clients because they're annoying your workflow for the day? So you want to be able to explain to them what it's like as far as that goes. And then the knowledge part of it is they want to know that you do have the insights, the expertise, and the training to be able to apply that in order to be able to give them what it is that they're hiring you to do regarding their financials or their taxes. The next part of it is quality. This is where client-centered firms that focus on the relationship win out hands it down. If you're able to provide a quality relationship, then those clients are not as sensitive. They value the fact that you know them, that you care about them, that you're thinking about them even when you're not having a conversation. They are somehow always top of mind. And maybe you even surprise them every now and then and reach out to them. Hey, this came my way. I thought that this might be of interest to you and wanted to share it with you. People care about that. They don't want to be a transaction. They want it to be a relationship. And then the last one is price, is that when you're able to really focus on how you're client-centered, how you invest in the relationship, then once again, you can raise your fees, charge a higher price, because people are not that price sensitive when it is very relationship focused.
What are the 4 elements that you want to include in your marketing message?
Right. The 4 elements is really looking at what I was talking about with Bill, that he did during those network meetings, and it started to bring in additional income and attract a better quality client to him. The very first thing is identify. You want to start talking about the things that happen when they first are reaching out to you. And I'm going to put that in the chat. Give me 1 second here, because everything is moving around for me. Okay, I'm putting this in the chat. So what concerns do your clients have prior to reaching out to you? Please share that in the chat. And you want to be able to start to identify those things. You want to talk about those things. You can talk about this on your website, on your homepage. You can talk about it on your Pro Advisor profile. When someone's at a network meeting and they ask you what you do, you can talk about those issues that people have when they first start reaching out to you. And then the next thing that you can start to do is instruct. That's where you're educating them about the possible solutions that they might apply in order to be able to resolve those problems or challenges that they're having. The third thing you want to do is inform. This is where you're explaining to them why you're qualified to be doing this work for them, why you are the one that has the resources, the insights, and the knowledge to be able to help them get unstuck and move forward. And then the The fourth thing is illuminate. And Bridget, this might answer your question also, is when you're meeting with those clients, if it's a current client, you want to raise your rates, you want to identify their particular problem, what's going on right now with them. You want to be able to give them some insights as to how you can help them move forward. At this point, you don't need to inform them about why you qualified because they've already have experience of working with you. But then you can also illuminate about how this can help them achieve some metrics or goals that are future focused and down the road. So those are some things that you want to do. This applies whether you're looking to attract quality clients to your firm or whether you want to raise the rates of a current client that is already working with you. You want to, like I said, the sweet spot is focusing on something in the future and showing them if you can do all these things for them, they can then move forward and achieve that next milestone in their firm, and that would be very meaningful for them. So some of the things to think about that I've heard that clients highly value, and this is right from talking with my clients, and what they found that their clients highly value is an office expansion sooner than planned. If you were able to help them with budgeting and forecasting so that they can go ahead and do a build out sooner than they thought, then that means that their particular business will grow faster. They'll be able to increase their revenues, and that will be significant for them. Another thing that clients highly value is covering their bills on time because they're now able to understand the cash flow. You're actually managing it for them. And as a result of that, they have financial health instead of financial worries. Reducing their taxes. It might be that they didn't set up their quarterly, so they got a surprise tax bill and they don't have the revenues in their accounts to be able to pay it on time. So now they're scrambling and they're losing sleep at night, or possibly that you are aware of some things that they could take advantage of, like the ERC or the qualified business credit. And because of that, it's saving them on their tax burdens. Or maybe you're helping them invest in making investments into their retirement fund. And as a result of that, you're helping them to reduce their tax responsibilities as well. So you're able to bring different things to the table to be able to reduce their taxes. The next thing is lightening their workload, because as business owners, they're probably working too many hours as well. They haven't been able to take a vacation for much too long, or they're taking their work home and it's affecting their quality of life, and they're not able to spend as much free time with their family as they would like to. So if you can help show them how to be able to improve their cash flow, be able to have a healthier business because they now have financial health in their business, maybe they can bring someone on that can take some of the things off of their plate and they can move it onto an assistant's place. Or they can possibly make an investment in technology that will speed up the process and do some things with AI that were currently done manually. So those are some of the ways that you could help them reduce their workload. And then the next thing is eliminating money leaks, because how often do you go into their financials and you realize that maybe there are redundancies? They're paying for two different vendors that deliver a similar product and they don't even realize it. Or possibly that you can help them take charge of their credit card so that they're able to pay down their credit card debt and be able to save in that way on the late fees as well as the interest. Or possibly they have subscriptions that they haven't used forever, but they're still paying that monthly fee for that subscription. And it's trying to be able to close out that account. So those are some of the things that you can help your clients with that will really make a difference for them. Oopsie, sorry about that. Okay, so when I was talking with Rihanna, she was saying yes to everybody because she does not like having difficult conversations. She feels that saying no can be confrontational. That's uncomfortable for her. And as a result of that, it meant that she was working with a lot of different businesses as a generalist. It wasn't very efficient for her. It was taking time away from her family, where she would be putting the kids to bed at night and then running back to her computer to do some additional work for clients. And as a result of that, we started to really focus in on who her quality clients were. And she decided to actually choose a niche because she had prior experience working in the restaurant industry, and she understood the needs of restaurant owners because of the fact that they have a lot of cash in their business. So it makes them at risk for fraud more than some other businesses. And the other thing is so many restaurants have seasonality. So there's ebbs and flows in their cash flow also, and how to be able to budget so that they're not scrambling at the end of the year before their season opens up again. And as a result of doing that, she was able to cut back her hours. She was able to increase her revenue. And part of what we were able to do is create packages that were specific to her clients. Here we created a silver, gold, and platinum package. It was specifically for the needs of restaurants, and it was able to have her restaurant owners see the different ways that she could work with them and the value of what she was able to do for them as well. So just think about if you were able to start getting away from those a la carte services and offer packages that your clients could opt into that meet their specific needs for where they were in their business journey. How would that make a difference in how you were able to enroll clients and the type of clients that you started working with?
Well, Lauren, we have our next poll question coming up after we look at attracting quality clients. So our next poll question, which best describes your firm? Generalized services, we specialize and solve a specific problem, we've defined a niche, or we have a niche and also a specialty. Once again, which best describes your firm? Generalized services, we specialize and solve a specific problem, we've defined our niche, or we have a niche and we also have a specialty.
And Steve, I know that Christian put something in the chat, but Christian, if you're here, do you mind unmuting yourself for a moment?
Sure, I'm right here.
Thank you so much, Christian. I just wanted you to share what your experience was as you became more aware of your value and you were able to start attracting quality clients. What was that journey like for you?
I never expected it would happen as quickly as it did. I mean, I'm still evolving, but just the fact that I viewed my value as a consultant and as a bookkeeper and a person that solves these issues for clients, just looking at my value differently, my rates went up incrementally. For example, yesterday I was talking with a client I've had for 2 years. I hadn't increased her, but just a small amount, maybe a year ago. And so I said, hey, you're, we're doing a little bit more, whatever. And I doubled her fee. And she said, okay. That was the entire response. So I think it's just the way that you are presenting yourself. And when you are, proficient in certain areas or you speak their language, you're resolving solutions for them, they view you differently. You are not a commodity. You're not, one of my clients paid me a $3,500 Christmas bonus this year. He said, because you're a valued member of our team. I mean, that's the kind of, I don't know, it's just, you seem to be in a different role. And it was interesting listening to Bridget's questions earlier, because it's almost like the way that you view yourself is the lens that your clients are going to view you through. And if you think, oh, well, they can only afford so much, or, how little can I charge for what I do? That's the way they're going to look at it. But when you say, here to solve a problem, I am doing XYZ for you. There are other things that are negotiable, how long it takes you to do something, or, how frequently you're doing something, those kinds of things. I'm very negotiable with my clients, but when you're looking at what you are, really valued to do, it really increases. It increases your rates just immediately. You're just looking at yourself differently. Your expectations are different, and therefore your clients look at you differently as well.
And Christian, one of the things I wanted to ask you, and I appreciate the transparency, and first of all, congratulations for doubling that client's rates, because that is not an easy conversation to have with someone. I know that people think of that for a long time, like Bridget was talking about, before you actually do that. So I want to really acknowledge you for finally taking that action and having that result. But what I did want to ask you is, it didn't really change what you do for your clients in your firm. What I'm hearing is that you changed how you were able to position yourself and some of the words or what you focused on. Is that correct?
It is. Yeah. I mean, clients don't care about AP, AR, payroll, those kinds of things. I mean, they do if they're not getting done, but they don't really care what you call them. They don't really care how they're getting done. What they care about is that, that they understand, or they feel like they're in more control of their cash outflow, or they feel like they can better budget or expect what it is they're going to be paying come payroll time, or for their estimated payments for taxes. They feel more in control. And when you're providing services on a regular basis, or you're taking the stress out of what they're doing. A lot of clients come to me and they have no idea what's going on with their job costing, with their financials. They don't know if they're right. They feel like they're not in control. So when you can really resolve an issue that makes them feel like they're more in control of their business, or that at least you're in control of what's going on with their numbers, you can just take that worry away from them. And then again, they're viewing you differently. But to Lauren's point, you're not changing anything that you are doing. You're just maybe talking about it a little differently, or asking them different questions.
Christian, thank you so much. I appreciate you letting me call you out. This was not planned. It was off the cuff, and you sharing about your experiences. I really appreciate that.
Happy to. Thank you.
Okay, Steve, we're going to share those results.
Okay. So which best describes your firm? Generalized services is 42%. We specialize in solve a specific problem, 11%. We've defined a niche as 26%. We have a niche and we have a specialty is actually 21%.
Great. And I did put in the chat, how do clients benefit from your services? If you want to share that, would love for you to be able to put that in the chat as well.
Great. And, before we get into the final section where you're going to discuss how to attract high value clients, I know that you have a free resource. Why don't you put that in the chat and tell us about it?
I did put in the chat, actually. This goes into, it's like the cliff notes for the next section that we're going into. If you're looking to really find the right words to be able to communicate your value, whether it is speaking it to someone else in conversation or on your website or social media, then you might want to go ahead and get the free resource on attract high value clients. It is at businesssuccesssolution.com/attraction. And I did put that in the chat as well. Oh, and I got a thumbs up from Natalia. Thank you so much, Natalia. And Christian said, thanks to Lauren for helping me to refine my dialogue with new and existing clients. I appreciate that, Christian.
Well, we're now ready to discuss attracting high value clients. How does confidence fit in here? Well,
basically, what I see is confidence is very, very sexy when it comes to marketing. That the more that you can exude confidence, whether it is written or verbal or in some other way, that is something that is going to be very appealing to a potential client that's considering your services. Therefore, I just want to say, the more confident you can display, the more attractive you will be to someone who is considering engaging your services. And some things to think about, and this goes right into the 5 steps of how to appeal to quality clients and start attracting them to your firm is the very first thing is you want to be client-centered. What you want to focus on is really what it is that is about the client, how you invest in the relationship, that you are very much about wanting to do what is in their best interest, and going back to that golden rule of give before you can get. And by doing that, you're letting them know that you have more of a relationship-focused type of firm where you're able to understand the needs of your clients, as opposed to the transactional firm, which is more of a factory model. It's like cranking out 1,000 tax returns during tax season. So when people don't really want to buy a transactional relationship. They want to know that you understand them, that you know their first name, that they matter, that they're not just more revenues in your bank account. So once again, the more that you can go towards being a client-centered firm, focusing on the relationship, that is very client attractive. The next thing you want to think about is clarity. You want to be very, very clear in your messaging and how you're positioning yourself. So this is where you might want to start to get away from trying to appeal to everybody, small business, medium business, not-for-profits, and very, very focused on who it is that you work best with, as well as what it is that you can do for them. And the more that you can be clear about that, you're going to start to grab the attention of those clients that really are a right fit for you. The third thing is credibility. This is where you want to start to educate them about the fact that you have the knowledge and the resources to be able to serve them for the things that they engage in your firm to do for them. And the graph on the left side is how effective something is based on the different ways that you can get information or resources out there. And this is the things that are on this particular graph are things that you do once, and they can just work for you over and over and over again while you're sleeping 24/7. So some of the things to think about is video is the most effective. It's similar to what I'm doing with you right now. I'm having a conversation with you. I can do this one to many. I can do this once, and then this can go live somewhere else if I wanted to, on my website or YouTube or Vimeo or somewhere else that might be wanting to host this for me. So that is something to think about, is video is the next best thing to actually meeting someone in person. But then it goes all the way down to blogs, and then it goes to white papers also. So you can have one of these, or you might have eventually over time build out a whole suite of these different things, because each one of these serves a specific purpose, and they all help to build your credibility that you're qualified to be able to do this for your clients. The next thing is consistency, because I know that there are times a year when you're busier than others, and when you're busy, you might not be as consistent in your marketing. But you want to realize that your clients have a different calendar than you do. You want to be out there on a regular basis, looking at this more as a marathon as opposed to a sprint, because you want to be available and be top of mind for clients when they need you, as opposed to when you need a new client. That means looking at this more from the marathon approach. The other thing to realize as far as consistency is that you don't need to be the one that is doing the marketing for you. You can have maybe someone else on your team that's doing some of the marketing for you, whether it's an in-person network meeting, or it might be posting on social media or something else that you're doing. Or it could be that you're hiring out to an agency to do the marketing for you as well, because then you don't have to figure out what to say or what to post. They're coming up with that content calendar for you, but it's representing your firm. And then the last one is challenge. This is where you want to be, you stand out. This is the thing that gets, attention. This is the secret sauce, and it is something that takes courage to do, and that you're going to be able to veer away. You're going to be that purple cow that we would talk about earlier. So what you want to do is think about what is some of the things that is common knowledge and people do, but you know that there's a better way. And I'm going to put in the chat, what would be your rant? So there's maybe things out there that are common knowledge and everybody does this, but you know that there's a better way. And when you hear someone talking about this being the thing that they're doing as their solution, you want to like get on those top of the rooftops and scream, no, that's not what you want to do. You want to be doing this instead. It's going to be so much more effective for you. It's going to make the difference that you've been hoping for. So there's things that just make you crazy when you hear this talked about, because you know that there's a better way. And that's what I call your rant. You want to understand what your rant is. So some of the rants that I hear is that having a QuickBooks subscription is the fact that you can now do bookkeeping. So that is a rant. Just because you have a QuickBooks subscription doesn't mean that you can do bookkeeping. Another one is that there is a difference between payroll software and payroll services. Something else is that, okay, this is from one of my clients. Friends don't let friends use TurboTax. That was his particular rant. If you are a TurboTax representative, I'm just the messenger. It's not my message. But those are some of the things to think about. Common rants. Steve, any other rants that you have or that you've heard that you wanted to share?
Yeah, actually two. Sales is all that matters. That's what you're kind of focusing on. And the other one is anybody can be a bookkeeper if they learn QuickBooks, which of course we know is not necessarily true.
Absolutely. So those are some of the things to think about as far as being client attractive. It's on the resource. If you want to go to businesssuccesssolution.com/attraction, you can get those notes to start applying some of those things to stand out and grab attention. And I'm going to just let you know the rant is definitely the way to go. And by the way, my rant is charging an hourly rate is unfair to you and to your clients because it creates a tug of war. They want you to work as quickly as possible, to pay as little as possible. You're not incentivized to speed things up because then you get punished for being efficient. With Lane, she is someone that actually has a niche where she works with creatives that are in the entertainment industry. So she's working with the technicians, the lighting people, the set designers. Those are her clients in the entertainment industry. But she was very generic in her messaging, even though she was involved in the community. And what we did is we got away from the generic message of what she does as far as the activities and the functions to her rant. And her rant is she wanted to be able to eliminate the starving artist syndrome by helping creatives have a business that's connected to what they do. It's meaningful for them. They're able to be creative and they can be well paid for doing that. So she wanted to really eliminate the starving artist syndrome and show her creatives how to be financially savvy and have a really strong business model. She was skeptical when we first started working together, but as a result of her being more focused and being more targeted with her rants and who she wanted to attract to her, she was able to actually get out of debt. She paid off her credit cards, she paid off her car, and she actually became a first-time homeowner.
Well, what we covered today was fixing your message, grabbing attention, and attracting high-quality clients. And Laura, we have our next poll.
You know what? We don't have a next poll. We're going to be aware of time.
Okay.
And
so let's go right into this.
Yeah, I just want to say, if this resonates with you, you know that you've been needing this, you want to get out there and attract those right people, you just don't have the right words or you're not sure what to focus on and what to be talking about, then I am offering an Attract Quality Clients virtual retreat. It's May 25th and 26th. It is going to be very it's not going to be large with hundreds and hundreds of people. It's going to be cozy because I like being able to work with people directly. I'm very, very relationship focused. And if you feel that you've been wanting to attract those quality clients, you want the right words, then I'm inviting you to join me on May 25th and 26th for this virtual retreat. It's at businesssuccesssolution.com/virtual to be able to get all the details. And there's some bonuses that I added into it. First of all, This is the first I'm talking about the retreat. Nobody else has heard this, not even my clients until right now. So the first 3 people that enroll into the retreat have a private coaching session with me where I'm going to focus on how to be able to nail your message to attract those quality clients to you and answer any of the questions you might have about attracting quality clients. So once again, the first 3 people to enroll within the next 24 hours will have a private coaching session with me as well to be able to fine tune what you need to do to attract quality clients to you. The other thing that I'm adding as a bonus, and I've never done this for any of my retreats before either, is I'm going to be including a round 2 because the retreat is going to be 2 days and we're going to be diving in. But sometimes once you start applying this or after the fact, you start having questions and you want to fine tune things. So after the retreat is over, I'm going to be having a round 2 bonus session the following week in order to be able to answer your questions, clarify things, and be able to work with you a little bit more closely to continue getting results and implementing. A third bonus is once you enroll in the retreat, you have lifetime access as long as the retreat's available. And I'm not planning on taking this away anytime soon. I'm so excited about being able to do this with you. So you will have lifetime access to all the resources and the videos that are in the retreat. I include templates, handouts, tons of resources. I'm always sharing resources with my clients. I have a ton of them, and you will have access to all those. Once again, it's a lifetime access because as your firm grows, you might want to come back and review something because you realize that your ideal client has changed and want to attract more of these next level clients to you. And the fifth bonus is that all the group sessions are recorded. So if you want to go back and listen to something again, be able to hear it another time, you will be able to do that. So all the general group sessions will be recorded. The breakout sessions I'm not able to record, but the general sessions will all be recorded and there for you. And just the value of these bonuses is $4,700. And I'm just going to say it is a great deal, even at $1,500. And for the general public, it would be $2,500. But like I said, I am rolling this out today. I want to help you. So once again, if you want to get on board, go to businesssuccesssolution.com/virtual. It is going to be $500 right now. Get involved, join me. Believe me, it is going to be more than $500 of value that you'll get. You'll get my hands-on coaching. You'll get insights from listening to other people in the community that have already applied some of these and gotten results, as well as others sharing some insights that maybe would be sparking a new idea for you. Also, if you're one of the first 3 people to enroll in the next 24 hours, you'll get a private coaching session with me. So just think about, if you could start attracting more of that quality client to you, how would that make a difference for your firm? You could charge higher fees. This pays for yourself. It is an investment, not a cost. So think about, you don't have to think about it any longer. You don't have to have the frustrations of marketing and where should I market and who should I market to. And what you ought to be doing with your marketing depends on your personality style, because whether you're an introvert, an extrovert, or somewhere in between, determines a lot on how you ought to be marketing and what is going to be most effective for you as well to get long-term results as opposed to short-term, because it feels like it's a drain and overwhelming. So once again, if this is what you've been looking for, you want to be able to dive in and get the solutions to be able to attract those quality clients, please join me. It's businesssuccesssolution.com/virtual, has all the details. It's a $500 investment that does pay off. And I want to be able to help you attract those quality clients to your firm in order to firmly be on the path to your dream firm. Thank you so much. I look forward to talking with you further. Take care.